Wait, the mother of the girl. The girl. You take care of the...
Okay, prophet. Okay, man of God.
Is your daughter?
Yes, man of God.
How is she doing at school?
She's doing well.
She's not supposed to do well, but she must be doing brilliantly well.
She's doing brilliantly well, man of God.
I see a very sharp child here. The future is bright, but she needs so much guidance.
Yes, man of God.
If you don't give her enough guidance, the future I'm seeing will be swallowed.
Thank you, man of God. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
The grace of God is sufficient for you. Standing before you is Nicole 𝐃𝐑𝐌 𝐂𝐎𝐌, and I am a PPS diamond. Taking you back on my academic journey, I grew up as a brilliant child. That is, I was passing most of my subjects, often getting A's in them, but Setswana is the subject that was giving me a struggle. I was introduced to the Gospel of God's Grace Ministries in the year 2018 when I was doing my Form 5. Simultaneously, I was then introduced to the PPS initiative. When I first listened to the PPS initiative, I was awed by it all. I was shocked. I was like, these Batswana kids, no, these marks are supposed to be getting like Indians are the ones that who are supposed to be getting these marks, not Batswana. It's not possible. So I was just awed by it all. Then now I started becoming encouraged by it. I started implementing the messages of the man of God when I was thinking about sacrificing our present. I started to read more, and then I ended up writing my PSLE while I was doing my Standard 6. And by the grace of God, I managed to get A's in all subjects, including Setswana. I then proceeded to my secondary schooling. When I started my Form 1, I had to go live with my grandmother while my mother went on transfer somewhere else. This meant now that where I was staying, the people were not fellowshipping here in 3G Ministries. So this meant that I stopped coming to church, and now this negatively impacted my faith, and also my academics. I started to become lax in my academics. I was not pushing myself to my full potential, and also faith-wise, I was not praying that much. I was just lukewarm in my faith. This now led to challenges in subjects like Setswana again. I was starting to fail. There was once a time where I got an E in Setswana. My first E in my entire life. I was saying, E, not an E. I have to do something about this. The next Setswana exam, I remember that I got up really early to study for it, and by the grace of God, I got an A for it. I also had a challenge in English while I was doing my Form 3, because we're doing English as a first language now. So we had to implement certain techniques and learn new concepts. But I just couldn't grasp them fully. So this meant that my entire Form 3, I was just getting D's and C's in English. Deep down, I knew that I had to do something about it, but I was just like, there's nothing I can do at this point. Let me just focus on the subjects that I at least pass. Now came the crossover candlelight 2022-2023 in Gaborone. That crossover, my mother said, Nicole, come with me. You're going to that crossover. Either I force you or just go on your own. So at the crossover candlelight, now my love for coming to church, that is where it was rekindled. I watched the PPS performances and everything, the messages, the prayer line, something just surged within me. I was saying, I just have to start going to church now. So that meant after that, I started coming to church more frequently, habitually, because also I no longer stayed with my grandmother, I was staying with my father, so we came here more habitually. People of God, as I started coming to church more, I was then now exposed also to more PPS testimonies. I was hearing people saying that they're now going to Marapula, getting 6 A stars and all that. And I was saying, what's this now? Let me find out more about this. First, people of God, when I was lax in my academics, I was just content with just getting 48 points because that's what we were told. But 48 points is the maximum. If you've attained that, you don't need to worry. You're just going to go to varsity, or maybe you're going to get a scholarship abroad. That's the maximum you can do. Now, when I was hearing people saying that they are going to do A-levels, I was saying, what is this now? They are saying you have to get 6 A stars. I was saying 6 A stars. That's a lot now. It's going to demand me to do more work, to put in more effort. But then that time, people of God, a dream was born within me. I was saying, you know what, I'm going to get these 6 A stars for my IGCSE exams. No matter what, I'm going to get them. On one fateful day, I was privileged to have an encounter with the man of God, where he asked my mother how I was doing in school, and she said that I was doing well.
Is your daughter?
Yes, man of God.
How is she doing at school?
She's doing well.
She's not supposed to do well, but she must be doing brilliantly well.
She's doing brilliantly well, man of God.
I see a very sharp child here. The future is bright, but she needs so much guidance.
So now after the prophecy, I had to put in more work because I was saying, the man of God can't just say I should be doing brilliantly well. I have to implement all the messages that he gave us as PPS and also make him proud, because he can't say that I should be doing brilliantly well, but then I'm just there doing well in school, getting these low marks. From there on, I would wake up at like 12 a.m. at night studying. Sometimes I would even study until I have to go to school. It was just that engraved within me. People at school were starting to think I'm crazy. Sometimes when we were maybe revising in school, I would even know the questions because we would use past papers. So I did them so habitually that I would even know the questions. Sometimes in the multiple choice, I would even know the answers and tell them, no, this one is wrong, this one is what. So people were busy saying, Nicole, what's happening to you? We don't know you like this. So I was just saying, no, I'm putting in the work. I'm waking up at 12. Wake up at 12 also. You also get the same results. There was also now a challenge at school because we were constantly changing teachers. So now that meant that while I was getting acquainted with one teacher, another one would come, and that would just be too much for me to handle. I was just getting confused. And there was also a period where I didn't have a teacher in biology for about 2 months or maybe a term. So now when this was happening, I was getting scared. I was saying, I'm going to fail now. But then my mother started reassuring me, saying that if I put in the work, if I worked as if it depended on me and prayed as if it depended on God, I was surely going to excel. I then now started putting in the work. I was teaching myself these subjects while also juggling with other subjects also. When there was also in December 2023, the man of God gave us season's greetings cards as ushers, and he said that we should write a dream that we want God to fulfill in 2024. And in my season's greetings card, I had written that I want to attain 6 A stars. So now comes 2024, the year where I had to put my all in now. During this year, people of God, I was studying so much. People were even concerned about me, saying maybe I should take a break. But I was saying, you know what? I'm not going to take a break. I'll just do this. I'll relax maybe after the final exams, but I'm just going to put my all in now because I want to reap those good fruits, the ones that those people are talking about, saying they are going to Marapula. I also want to enter those gates of Marapula. During my Form 5 now, people of God, I was putting in my all. I was getting maybe 4 A stars, 5 A stars, but not really 6 A stars, which is what I wanted. When this happened, I prayed to God more because even though I can work, I also have to rely on God because it's also my genuine willingness plus God's ability that will birth that excellence. When I went for my final exams, I acquired the living facets. Before every exam, I would anoint myself with the living water, and also I would pray with the living sticker. When I entered the exam room, some of the papers, it felt as if I did them before. I was just flowing in them. I was wondering, maybe I can be flowing like this, but I'm just writing wrong things. But then I was like, hey, let me not think about that. I should know that I did all my best, and I know that God will back me up. We finished writing, and then now I'm waiting for my marks. During that period, people of God, I wasn't scared at all. I was just peaceful. I just went on with my days as if I had not written a challenging exam before. I was just like, people were busy telling me they're scared. I was saying, you're scared. What are you scared of? You know what you did. You know how much work you put in. So why are you scared? You should know that what you put in will give you the results that you deserve. So now it's the day before my exams. During that night, people of God, I kept on getting multiple dreams. I saw myself getting D. I was saying every time a dream would come, I'd wake up or start listening to the song for Favor. It surrounds me like a shield all night. I would listen to it, then I go back to sleep, then I dream again. I would wake up again. I would say, then I start listening to it again. I start praying again to God. The next day now, I go to collect my results in school. I'm the first person there to collect my results. The results the exam officers are still reading them through within the office there. They haven't given them to us. I'm anxious. I'm there sitting, saying, have I really put in my all? Am I going to get those 6 A stars? Then they give me my results slip. I count all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go to Botswana. I said, I better not have failed Botswana because man of God always says that we cannot be children of Botswana. Then we get A stars in everything or A's in everything, but then we get like D's or C's in Botswana. When I saw that I had gotten an 89%, an A in Botswana, I was so happy, people of God.
Our hands together for Jesus Christ. Come on, those hands can be better for Jesus. Now, as you are counting, we want to hear, you counted those A stars. How many were they?
The A stars were 6, people of God, just as I had written in that season's greetings card.
Come on, somebody shout for Jesus.
People of God, as you can see here, starting even when I was in Form 2, I would get A's or A stars in all subjects, but Botswana would be the one that I would be getting a B. Now, people of God, coming to my final results. For biology, chemistry, physics, maths, literature, and first language English, the one that I used to get D's in. And here is my 89% for Botswana. For biology, I got a 98%, people of God. And here, people of God, my school is vying for the Top in the World award or Top in Africa award. I got 48 points for my final exams, but you see the quality of the 48 points is not the one where I was getting 1 A star and A's, but it was now comprised of all of the 48 points was comprised of all A stars. People of God, because I achieved 6 A stars for my final examinations, I was privileged to be awarded the Top Achiever Scholarship in the country. And people of God, when I had went to Marwapula School to apply, I just went there thinking, I'm just going to apply. Maybe I'm going to start school in June. But they said that they wanted me to start school the very next day. I moved into the school that same day. This is the same Marapula, people of God. You even see my letter of acceptance into lower 6 at Marapula, Nicole, 𝐃𝐑𝐄𝐌. My word of encouragement to the PPS students is that we ought to involve God in our academics. I believe that when I was lax in my academics, it was an easy task, and I thought that I didn't need God. But now when I had this hard challenge of having to get 6 A stars, that's when now you really appreciate that you have to have God in your life. You can put in your all, but without God, there's just something going to be lacking. It's not going to be fully what you could have achieved. So my message, my word of encouragement to the PPS Diamonds, to the PPS students, is that you should work as if it all depends on you and pray as if it depends on God. Do not just think that just because you are a PPS student, you are going to achieve all these great marks. You have to know that it takes hard work, it takes discipline, it takes sacrificing your present